What up? Welcome back. Another episode of Car Ride Reactions, the show where we react to the latest movies on the spaceship ride home. I just got out of the new movie Bugonia, starring my guy Jesse Plemons as well as Emma Stone. Two actors that I'm not sure I've ever seen a bad project from either of them. Not necessarily my favorite actor or actress, but they're great to me. I think they deliver in everything they're in. I saw some people saying this might be Jesse Plemons' career-defining role. I take issue with that because I think they need to put more respect on my guy Jesse Plemons' career. My guy was the bully from Like Mike. He was Landry in Friday Night Lights, the show. He kicked a 90-yard game-winning field goal to beat the Dillon Panthers when he was part of East Dillon and Coach Taylor. He was in, what was that? Game Night. He's the star of Game Night in my opinion, even though he's kind of a weirdo in that one too. Jesse Plemons is one of those guys, man. He knows how to play a weirdo. He knows how to play a nerd. He's got some range to him. I like Jesse Plemons a lot. And Emma Stone, again, I've never seen anything bad with her either. So the cast I thought was good with them too. And then I was curious off the trailers if this was going to be a movie that was keeping you guessing the whole time. Like the trailers make it seem like, for those that, may be watching this and not know what the movie's about. What the movie's about is Teddy, who Jesse Plemons plays, is a conspiracy theorist who believes that Emma Stone, who's a high-ranking corporate CEO in America, is an alien. And that he believes that her alien species is there to hurt human society or kill them off or something nefarious is basically what he believes. So what I liked from the trailer was the movie, to me, seemed like a movie that would have you wondering the whole time, like if he's right or if he's batshit crazy. Because the surface level is he's batshit crazy. And then I wanted a movie that periodically made you wonder more and more if he was right. Now, I don't think it necessarily slowly peeled back the layers that way to where you were wondering if you were right or not. But it gets to a point where it kind of hits you pretty hard, where you're like, wait a minute, is this what I think it is? And I would say, I don't even know if they clarify for you one way or the other. They definitely give you a few points in the movie where you think it's this or you think it's this, but I'm not sure they actually clarify it for sure until the last maybe 10, 15 minutes of the movie, which are actually really insane. I'm gonna give this movie a 7.5. Acting was great. Storytelling was great. I have some nitpicky things I'll get into in this video, I'm sure. But for the most part, I thought this was good. If the trailer looked interesting to you, it's probably one you're gonna like because the trailer is sci-fi, mystery-ish, and the movie delivers on that tone and type of story. So, like I said, 7.5 in my book. I'll get into some spoilers now, so if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want anything ruined for you, pause here, come check this out later after you see the film. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get into that now. I went into this movie believing that Emma Stone would be an alien. I know the surface level made you think that it's just gonna be Jesse Plemons is batshit crazy. That's kind of where I think they wanted everybody going into the movie thinking that, but maybe wondering. I think they also wanted them wondering in their back of their head, which is maybe he's not. So, as the movie goes on, it really does stay, for the majority of it, it's indicated that Jesse Plemons is just crazy. Or Teddy the conspiracy theorist is just crazy. So, when it gets pretty deep into the movie before you start thinking to yourself, wait a minute, maybe he's on to something here. So, what I like that this movie did is this movie actually unveiled a twist in a way that even if you were someone like me that was expecting her to be an alien, which, spoiler alert, she was, nailed it, count it, that they did it in a way where it's like, I got that right, but there's so many things I got wrong. So, if you go into the movie believing that Teddy's onto something and she's a conspiracy theorist, you might be like myself and you might be inclined to believe that everything else he said has some legitimacy to it. But what Jesse Plemons' character got wrong in this movie was the intentions of the alien. So that made, even though I got the alien twist part right, the intentions part was crazy too. Because you can't even say, even though he was right in certain ways, you can't even say Jesse Plemons is the hero of the story, because he's not. He's kind of a fuckhead too. He does a lot. He does some shit in this movie that's, even though he was really on to certain things, he's also a moron. Like when he believed Emma Stone about the antifreeze, and he fucking killed his mom on accident because he put antifreeze in her IV. Dumbass. I mean, that was something that like played out in a way, like once that happened, I was like, oh, there's no way she's an alien, because I don't know why that scene would have went that way, or they're like, she did that to prove that he's a moron. So when I think for me, when it got to a point where I was like, I think where I was officially in my head confirmed she was an alien, even though there was a few points after this where I kind of thought to myself, maybe she's not, and she's just a good bullshitter, is she catches Teddy's shed. She realizes she's not the first person Teddy's kidnapped and accused of being an alien. And she specifically asked how many were Andromedans. And the way she asked that question was, and kudos to her as an actress, it was just a different delivery. And I was like, oh yeah, she's for sure an alien. And the way he answered two was also very like confirming and very affirmative. And I was like, that's crazy. Okay, so now what's going on in this shit? So then where I think it takes a twist from even like the twist I predicted is the intention, and why they're both kind of wrong, or they're both in the wrong in the situation, because he had her figured out. He knew who she was. He had almost everything nailed except for the fact that she was the emperor, which he did kind of figure out during the movie in a way that was if you were watching it, you're like, this guy's batshit insane. But he was actually putting things together as the movie went on. With the intentions of the aliens was actually to potentially help mankind. I guess they had some history with us after the dinosaurs where they helped kind of like bring civilization back. They were trying to protect the Earth for one reason or another, but and protect human civilization, but protecting the Earth was more important to them than human civilization. So I know I'm talking fast. I'm just still processing this shit, man. I've done this video. This is my 6th time attempting to record this video, because I just keep saying something and then stop and staring at the clouds and have a 3-minute pause. So I apologize if I do that in this video. I gotta eventually record it for good. But with their intentions to actually like save Earth made it a more complicated thing. So because then she starts discussing like, oh, you know what, maybe this planet isn't worth saving. So spoiler for the end, she gets to she gets back on her spaceship, which is, I think, when you officially have no more doubt. I think even though I thought it was maybe in the last 45 minutes of the movie, I was pretty sure I knew who she was and what was going on. I would say you wouldn't actually know it to be confirmed until she got on the spaceship at the end of the movie. And then she basically decides that, we're not really worth saving. So she destroys the Earth's atmosphere and everyone dies. And that's the way the movie ends. And with what she went through with Teddy, who was smart enough to figure out that aliens were there and that they were Andromedans, and he had the spaceship drawn up perfectly, like with him automatically assuming their intentions were to fuck everything up, and for him to be so violent and hostile, and the fact that he had tortured other aliens before, because that was that was crazy when like I said, he said 2 were actually Andromedans. Like when that she must have decided that we just weren't worth saving, or weren't worth protecting anymore. So everyone dies at the end of the movie. It's just another of a mind fuck, and man, I'm just still scatterbrained from that. The word mind fuck is probably overused, but this was definitely a mind fuck. I mean, the movie in itself, other than the things I've already discussed, is pretty simple, so I'll leave it there. I do think, like I said, worth seeing if you're interested, or the trailer looked good to you. It does deliver on the trailer. If the trailer didn't look good to you, don't check it out. I think, I think that was a good one. It's in my upper half of the year. I don't know if it's top tier movie of the year, but it was a good one. Favorite trailer for me this time, I think it was called like Call Help or something, but it stars Rachel McAdams, and she's like, her and her boss, who's a dickhead boss, gets stranded on an island, and she kind of turns the tables on him and starts like mistreating him because he's like injured and stuff. That looked like an interesting movie. I'm not totally sold I'm gonna go see it, but one worth checking out the trailer for sure. That being said, y'all, we got some good stuff coming up. We got Predator Badlands next week. Ken and I are going to. We got Running Man the week after. I'm super excited for both of those. I'm glad to have Ken back. Just feel like I'm better at these when someone's here with me and we're bouncing it off versus me just kind of monologuing for the car ride home. So excited to have a co-partner for the next two. I'm gonna see Wicked hopefully on the 21st. I want to go see that with my mom and sister. We'll see if that happens. I'll be with them that weekend for my niece's birthday, but if that doesn't happen, then I'll check it out and I'll still get a review out for that one. I know that's going to be a big one this year. And then I'm going to see Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is also November 14th. And then aside from that, I think we got Avatar Fire and Ash in December. I'm sure there's some other things sneaking up on us. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, all that. I really appreciate it. Helps our algorithm. And then honestly, we love doing these videos and we love putting out the movie reviews, but we're starting to get a little more juice on our Instagram and TikTok. If you want to follow us at CarRideReactions there, if you don't already. We're starting, because of that, we're starting to put out some more content. Today I put out a ranking of my favorite Predator movies. Ken did a breakdown of the new voice actor for Throg in the Invincible series. Just talking on some different topics that we like to talk about. You know, we're not really faking anything or doing clickbait. We're just doing stuff we want to do, so we're having fun with it. That being said, we take feedback. If there's anything that aligns with what we want to do, that what you guys want to see, we'd love to put it out. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have a great one.